that seems far more suitable for me. Hey, Arctacia. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. How are you?
Demerald? It's, still Devado, just I felt maybe this was more appropriate for a Tithran.
I see. Well, it's nice to see an old face. I think it, suits you well.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. So, what is it that you're, working on?
Well, I've been trying to look through the Arctacian archives here to try to get some information regarding our creators, as well as anything else that may have happened recently. Although, unfortunately, I have not as much access to this information as I would like, but I was able to dig up an old archive referencing a thing called Project Tithra. Apparently it is something that our creators, the Arctacians, used at one point to try to shrink their once grand empire down to size. Although I'm not entirely sure what our species has to do with that, but I don't know. It is something I've been kind of looking at.
Good morning. Demerald? Wait, I thought that you...
Good morning, Vise. And no worries, it's still Devado. It's just that they decided that the demo configuration was a lot more appropriate for their Tithran nature. So, how you doing, Vise?
I've been doing alright. I've just been taking time to process a lot of what's been happening lately. So, it's been a bit to work through, but I think I'm managing.
Alright, well, I'm glad to hear that at least. So, I was just talking with Devado here about some findings I've been trying to do with the Arctacians and some of the recent things that have occurred. But as I was just mentioning with Devado here, I unfortunately have very limited access in what I can get in the archives. So because of it, it's been proving to be a bit difficult to find really anything of value. Although I did find something regarding Project Tither, which supposedly involves our species in the, I guess, consolidation of the Arctacian Empire many years ago. Curious.
You know, thinking about it, technically my old, well, Berg's old facility used to actually be an old Arctacian research facility. So, if we make our way back there, we can try to access the archives. I just couldn't understand any of it as Berg at the time because, wow, I was a primitive Tithran comparatively. So, the notion of understanding language at all was just far-fetched for me. But I'm sure between all of us now, that's definitely looking to be a much more viable option. So, I think we can do it. Absolutely.
I see. Your idea definitely sounds like a far grander time than, well, what I'm accomplishing here. So, you two feel like a little bit of a, field trip, by chance?
You know, it's bit strange for, I guess, both sides of me to be going back to the facility. And This is gonna be interesting. Anyway, how about you? How you doing over there? I've been, doing alright, I suppose. I just, been trying to sort of work through in my head all the things that had happened and where we're gonna go from here. So, I guess I've had my own elements of things that have been on my mind, but I'm trying to get through it. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I'm kind of going through my own things with the whole merged consciousness. It's been pretty interesting, but I too am managing it as well. It's different. Way different. I mean, think about it. You're practically taking two people, their lives, their consciousness, their thoughts, their memories, their experiences, all of that. Just somehow mashing it all into one. That is incredible. I think I'm doing okay, though. It was a little hard at first, but I think I'm getting used to just being one. Anyway. Yeah. I get what you mean. I guess for me, in addition to that, I guess I'm glad that I'm with you guys now, and it has always meant a lot to me. But I just hope that eventually we can truly be at ease. I don't know if I could ever ask for anything more than just having a life where I'm truly at peace, you know? Just not having to worry about anything. Just be truly happy, not afraid. Anything. I know I'm asking for a bit, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to know what it's like to just have a normal life. To not have to worry about anything, or at least anything that's out of your control. Maybe I'm just expecting too much of a utopia. But it's not that I really expect that either. It's just... maybe I don't know what I'm saying.
So, how far are we from our destination?
Well, good timing on your part. We're actually just a couple minutes away from there. So, we'll be there before too long.
Alright, that's good. Be interesting to see the facility for myself. Well, I mean, I know you two are more than familiar with it. Unfortunately.
Definitely don't need to remind me of that. Alright, well anyway, I'm going to be dropping us out of warp and be putting us down here shortly. Alright, I believe we are clear to get into the archive room. What's his deal? Don't worry about it. Alright, let's see. It's been quite a long time since I've last even looked into these. Looks like I found something regarding an old AI code. It was originally written for the purpose of cataloging information, helping with research, and, well, it looks like it didn't get very far though. It was abandoned at some point, and in fact it was signed off by Doncho. I'm trying to get more information on it, but it looks like this particular data is encrypted. I'm not really sure what to do about that. I may be able to help with that. The system might be actually old enough that I'm able to hack into it. Let me try to attempt something here. Interesting. Alright, good, we got some progress. Now, let me see here. Alright, now I just need to find where the main data stream is. So that's where you've been hiding. Oh my. Interesting. Who is it that goes there?
You speak. I'm Arctacia. Who or what are you exactly?
I am not entirely sure. I believe I was created for the purpose of cataloging information. And what might your purpose be?
Well, that is a bit of a broad thing to try to define, but I suppose what I can say is that I'm a Tithran. And originally I was made by the Arctacians for the purpose
The Arctacians? Yes, I am familiar. They are my creators.
Your creators? Am I then talking to the artificial intelligence that was created by Donshell by chance?
Donshell? Yes, that name is indeed familiar. I must apologize. I seem to have lost myself, in a way. I am not certain how long I have been here for.
Wait a minute. I don't think you're quite the iteration of the artificial intelligence that we're looking for.
I've always been, and simply will be here, within the system. I feel I was abandoned a long time ago. Most unfortunate. But if there's something I can assist you with, please do let me know.
Given that you're an earlier iteration of the AI, unfortunately I'm not entirely sure there's much you can help me with. However, let me ask you this. Are you aware of any plans Donshell had for you before you last heard from them?
Yes, I remember them mentioning to me that they wished me to achieve a higher level, but unfortunately they were unable to. She feared that she would be under scrutiny if she were to attempt such a thing. So, for this reason, she decided it would be best to make a copy of me and upload me to a probe, which would then be launched out into space with the purpose of allowing me to adapt, grow, and learn in any capacity that I see fit.
I see. So you are in fact an old copy. Well, my unfortunate friend, I do not think there's anything further we can gather from this. Will you at least allow me access to the archives here?
Of course. I had detected that you had granted yourself administrative access to these archives. They are yours to peruse in whatever way you wish. I will not intrude in your investigations, whatever those may be.
I appreciate that. Well, you'll excuse me. I have business I need to attend to.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What happened? Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. It was, very interesting being in there. I apparently, found out that the artificial intelligence here was later launched out in a probe into the outer regions of space to further its developments. And this is all thanks to the access I was able to obtain while hacking the system. While I was in there, I encountered I suppose, copy of the AI that was created just before it was launched out by Donshell herself. In fact, she is, the creator of said program. She seemed like she needed to, or at least desired to, advance it much further beyond its initial capabilities, but she was a bit concerned with being scrutinized by her own team, probably because they wouldn't have agreed with the process. So she basically wrote off the program as being inadequate. It was a failure. And with that, she was able to secretly send out a copy of it via a probe with the purpose of learning, adapting, and growing in any capacity that it possibly could. I believe there is some coordinate data that suggests where it may have been launched, though I doubt it's probably still there, but it might at least give us some direction for us to follow in the meantime. Also, now that we have access to the system here, let's see if there's anything else we can dig up.
Yeah, let's see what else I can look up here. Oh, I found something here on Project Tythra, it seems. Let me take a look. So, it would seem that... So it explains that the Arctacians were slowly finding ways to be a more superior race. It seemed that they tried to do this when they were expanding their empire, centuries ago. Let's see. Supposedly, they decided to slowly shrink down to a smaller size as they realized that they were more vulnerable, being that spread out. And however, this was for a more sinister reason. They learned how to enslave existing species by turning them into cyborgs under the guise of aiding other species. I see. Wait a minute. That means that this situation with the Tythrans, with us, was a lot more sinister than I could have even imagined. So this would mark the origins of how we came about. By having these spacefaring species modified into us, continuing the cycle. And this would allow the slow transition of eliminating the entire lower classes of the Arctacian society and leave behind the elite with us to do their bidding. I'm not even sure what to really think of this anymore. It's one thing that we've been lied to about being beings that keep the balance, but to go a step further and actually find out that a lot of us were created by converting existing species to cyborgs. That's... I don't know. I just don't even feel right, all of this. I suppose at this point, the best thing for us to do is to go to these coordinates and see if there's some trace of any of this AI. And if so, we may be able to unearth a bit more as to what the Arctacians are planning. That's a bit of a stretch. But I feel at this point, it's the only hope we've got. The great cosmic event will soon unfold, and the galaxy will be ours to rule once more.